to listen very carefully because I know we cover a lot of really incredible news. And everything is accelerating. Liberty is accelerating. Tyranny is accelerating. One group of people is awakening faster and learning more. Others are buying more into the matrix, more into the propaganda. There is a separation of the goats from the sheep, the wheat from the chaff, the gold from the pewter. It's happening right now, and it's only going to get crazier as technology accelerates, as populations become more interconnected. Now, I want to take you back to November of last year, the Food Safety Act that openly said that you couldn't go pick dates off of your date tree or figs or tangerines, whatever the case was, and make jam and give it to your neighbor. That you couldn't invite people over to eat food that you'd grown in your garden. And that's why we see all this harassment now of farmers markets everywhere. Big Agri gave $17 million in 1 week in November, a record, trying to pass it because they are exempt from all of it. They wrote the legislation, just like Obama has given over 2,000 waivers now to mega companies like McDonald's and others where they don't have to get insurance for their employees, but your hamburger shop next door does. This is the essence of the New World Order, is a collectivist system where only the mega corporations that run the governments are allowed to operate. They're allowed to have a coal power plant. Their competition can't. They don't have to buy the insurance. You do. And so the Food Safety Act, after a scare with a big, giant producer, it's almost always a big producer. I've seen reports where Tyson Chicken can have hundreds and hundreds of violations at one plant. Their smaller competition has one violation, shut down. That's how this stuff works. And so that's what the IRS is changing its rules, not law, where you can't write off your family farm or ranch. They call it a hobby farm now. You run a farm or ranch just to be able to get enough money to pay the property taxes. You work in town as a school teacher or at the power plant or as a mail person. I'm just, kind of mentioning what my family does in East Texas. They've all got jobs because, and they couldn't keep the land if they didn't have the cows on it for the lower taxes because of the agriculture exemption. And now under these rules, it would shut us down. In fact, we're very close to it right now. And we already have agriculture being destroyed. Now, they introduced and actually said this is a treaty, just one paragraph, and that we will enforce as policy in that bill that failed, but narrowly, it's back now, codex-alimentarius. Now, that's now gone in this year in Europe. People couldn't believe it would happen. Hundreds of herbal remedies, mainline vitamins, minerals, no longer over-the-counter. Now this is coming here. This is global standardization. This will devastate the economy. This will devastate people who couldn't get help in the mainline medical system but have gotten relief and sometimes cures by being able to simply access the building blocks of what the body's made up of. They come out and admit the Prozac-type drugs are now confirmed to be one of the big causes of autism. It's a cocktail of other things as well. They're deadly poison. Of course they are. They're chloride and they're a fluoride and other chemicals basically mixed together. The point is they are really doing this. This is really happening. And we need to raise the alarm now and realize how serious this situation is. Under these new laws they're trying to pass and the new regulations they're trying to enforce, because even when they can't get laws passed, just like with the greenhouse gas taxes, they will just have the bureaucracies implement it. And they've had the Supreme Court rule that the EPA can do this. So this is incredible what's happening. Well, the same thing's happening with the FDA now. And Mike Adams joins us here in studio today with just a few of the products that you're not going to be able to get under this codex-alimentarius by stealth. And he's got the headline at naturalnews.com. FDA's scheme to outlaw nearly all nutritional supplements created after 1994 would destroy millions of jobs and devastate the economy. Mike Adams, thank you for joining us. Good to have you here again in studio with us. Break down exactly what we're facing.
Great to be here again, Alex. Thanks for having me on and for that intro. Yeah, this is, to borrow a phrase from your feature film, this is the FDA's end game to really destroy the dietary supplements industry. And now all these products that I'm showing here, these are examples of products that would be outlawed under these new regulations, these proposed rules. Now, the FDA essentially would require that every one of these companies go out and analyze every ingredient they have and apply for a new permission, new approval from the FDA for every ingredient in every product they've formulated in the last 17 years.
It's an impossible job, and it makes them waive their rights when they sign the agreement.
Oh, absolutely. And realize this is not being debated in Congress. This isn't a law. This is a tyrannical regulation by unelected bureaucrats at the FDA.
So they couldn't get codex-alimentarius through last November. The bill's been reintroduced, Food Safety Act, so now they're just doing it by executive fiat.
That's exactly it. Now, they say, what's interesting is this comes out of 1994, DSHEA, that bill that Congress passed in 94, which said that all of these companies need to notify the FDA when they use a new ingredient. Well, notification is one thing. The FDA has twisted that now and said it's not going to be notification. We're going to use that as an approval process. So we can deny you permission to use any of these ingredients in any of these products. And better yet, to make it even more tyrannical, Alex, the FDA says that, let's say this company, Interfood, one of your sponsors, let's say that they get approval for their chlorella or spirulina. Let's just say they managed to pull that off.
Why do I need an authorization to eat plankton?
Well, exactly. But the FDA says, well, this wasn't used in dietary supplements since before 1994, so they need new approvals. But even if they get approval, then some
But plankton is an animal. I mean, I don't need to get government approval to eat that.
Well, the FDA says if you don't get approval, they're going to call your product adulterated. Adulterated. And that means they can then call in the U.S. Marshals to conduct an armed raid on your company.
And they do that with guns, so when they show the dumb jury it, the jury thinks they must be criminals if cops come in with guns.
That's exactly it.
That's why they got people selling pumpkins with guns aimed at them, or Amish, to show the jury, so the jury goes, well, they must be evil.
Yeah, they really know how to use tactics of tyranny.
Well, it's theater.
It is theater, absolutely. And there's a whole history of FDA raids, armed raids against vitamin companies. For those who may not believe it, just search history of FDA raids. But in any
well, no, we got all these videos now.
Yeah.
I mean, you can look at them on YouTube where they have like a farmer's market and there's cops screaming, get down, get down, get down.
Yeah.
You're selling rutabaga.
Yeah, pulling guns on raw cheese, things like that. Pretty crazy. But again, if Interfood has their ingredient approved to the FDA, that doesn't count for this company. Even if they use the exact same ingredient, they say this company has to get the same ingredient reapproved, and so does this company and this company and this company. So every company has to apply for every ingredient that they've used since 1994 and get reapproved by the FDA, or they cannot sell their products in the United States at all.
But, I mean, now let's take Interfood and the government now with this new, quote, regulation made up. They're saying organic orange peel, folks, you got to get authorization for oranges are with Al-Qaeda. I've seen raids on farms. It was like 5-6 years ago that was growing aloe vera and saying you can't say that, and they sell it at Walgreens that drinking this is good. We're saying it's a drug. Aloe vera, proven to calm the stomach, proven. I mean, I've gotten burns before, and boy, it has a great effect. No, I'm evil. Let's mention more evil here. Organic barley and wheatgrass. There's nothing more evil than grass. Organic rose
hips.
Oh, man, this is evil. This is even worse. Organic beetroot. Oh, whoa. That's going to get worse. Organic white asparagus. Dude, asparagus is like a belly bomb.
But importantly, these are foods, but the FDA says even if it was sold as a food before 1994, you still have to reapply for permission.
So they tell us mercury is good for children's brains. In fact, pull up that news clip. I'm going to play it later. Mercury is good for you, but you're not going to eat oranges. Those are deadly.
And guess what's exempted from all of these new proposed regulations? Any synthetic chemicals used in vitamins. So a company that makes a cheap synthetic poisonous form of artificial vitamins, they don't have to apply.
And notice the drug companies all have their synthetic versions, which I've seen the studies that are actually toxic to the liver. They take petrochemicals and make fake ones, but that's all exempt. It's the orange peel. In fact, I've got oranges at home. Did you?
Yeah,
am I going to get SWAT teamed?
If you try to sell it as a supplement, you might. I don't know if you can see this. I've got seven
around
pages.
here, yeah.
This is some of the applications that you have to do for every ingredient that you use now. The FDA says you have to research the efficacy, the safety, the clinical trials, and if it's a plant, you have to find the name of the original scientist who named that plant with its Latin name. I mean, you have to go back through the history books and find that and submit all this to the FDA, go through this flow chart for every ingredient that you're trying to get approved.
What about evil selenium?
Yes, selenium, forget it. And they say if you alter the dosage of it, then you have adulterated the product.
That's right. Now they're saying you can have over-the-counter, but it's got to be a lower dose.
That's it. So let's take vitamin C. If before 1994, if vitamin C was sold at 60 milligrams, they would say that's okay. But if you now increase it to 500 or 1,000 milligrams, now they say that's adulterated, and you need a new approval from the FDA.
Well, this is even more evil. This company, it says it has basil leaf. Basil, I mean, this has an herb that you grow in the garden. This is evil. Should I call the police? Hold on a minute.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to break here. Hold on. Officers, I've got him. He brought orange peel in here, and he brought Adrenal Health that's got some things that they put in Italian food. Okay, keep him here. It's got wild oats, milky seed. Okay, all right. SWAT team's coming good. All right, folks. We've got the Al-Qaeda operative here. We'll be right back to break down more of the government protecting us.